Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon in 1964, in a world that was anything but simple or easy. His early life was shaped by constant movement and uncertainty. His mother, a costume designer, did her best to provide for him, but life was unpredictable and often difficult. His father was largely absent, leaving Keanu to grow up with questions about family and belonging. From a very young age, he experienced the kind of instability that most children are fortunate never to face. This instability followed him across countries and continents, from Lebanon to Australia, and finally to Canada, where he would spend much of his youth. As a child, Keanu struggled in school. He was diagnosed with dyslexia, which made reading and learning in the traditional sense a daily challenge. This did not mean he lacked intelligence. In fact, he had a sharp mind and a natural curiosity about the world. But traditional education was often frustrating and demoralizing for him. While other kids could read with ease, Keanu would have to work twice as hard just to keep up. It was a struggle that could have discouraged many. But for Keanu, it became part of the resilience that would define him later in life. Growing up, Keanu was also a target for bullying. Moving from school to school meant starting over again and again, trying to make friends and fit in. Kids can be cruel to those who seem different, and Keanu often felt that sting. His small frame and quiet nature made him an easy target. Yet even in these moments of pain, he found ways to cope. He threw himself into physical activity, learning to skate, ride bikes, and play sports. Skateboarding became more than just a pastime. It was a way to channel energy, express himself, and feel some control in a world that often felt chaotic. Keanu also discovered a love for acting at a young age. It started in school plays and small performances, where he could step into someone else's shoes and explore different lives and stories. Acting gave him a sense of freedom, a chance to escape from the difficulties of his own life. It was something he could control, something he could excel at even when other parts of his world felt unpredictable. The thrill of performing, the way it allowed him to connect with others, became an essential part of his life. Life was not easy for his mother either. She worked tirelessly to support Keanu, moving between jobs and cities, always trying to give him the best opportunities she could. Her love and determination provided a foundation for him, even if it was a shaky one. She taught him that work and dedication could create opportunities, and she instilled in him a quiet strength that would stay with him through decades of challenges. During these formative years, Keanu was exposed to the arts and culture in ways that would later influence his career. Whether it was visiting museums, watching films, or reading about different kinds of storytelling, he absorbed a wide range of experiences. These early exposures helped shape his appreciation for the depth and beauty of human expression. Even as a child, he was drawn to stories that were emotional, meaningful, and sometimes heartbreaking. These stories resonated with him, perhaps because his own life often carried its share of sorrow and uncertainty. Keanu's teenage years were not without rebellion and experimentation. Moving to different schools and cities, he sometimes struggled to find his place. He experimented with different hobbies, different groups of friends, and even different ways of expressing himself. He was trying to understand who he was in a world that seemed to change around him constantly. Despite this, he was never reckless in a dangerous way. His curiosity was always paired with a sense of caution and thoughtfulness. He observed, listened, and learned from the world around him. Sports and physical activity remained central to his life. He became especially skilled at ice hockey, a sport popular in Canada, and played on school teams. Physical challenges gave him confidence and taught him the value of discipline and perseverance. Whether it was skating, playing hockey, or later practicing martial arts for his acting roles, Keanu discovered early that the body and mind are deeply connected. Mastery of one could influence the other, and he carried this lesson into adulthood. Despite these challenges, Keanu showed a remarkable ability to stay grounded. Even as he faced bullying, academic difficulties, and family instability, he maintained a sense of humility and empathy. He observed the struggles of others, often more than his own, and developed a quiet compassion that would later become one of his defining traits. People who met him even as a teenager noticed his kindness and thoughtfulness. He wasn't the loudest or flashiest person in the room, but he had a presence that made people feel at ease. By the time Keanu reached the end of high school, he had faced more challenges than many people encounter in a lifetime. Yet each obstacle, each hardship had built resilience, patience, and a deep understanding of life's unpredictability. These traits would become invaluable as he entered the competitive and often harsh world of acting. He learned that life doesn't always follow a straight path and that sometimes the most meaningful journeys come through struggle and perseverance. Keanu's early exposure to loss, instability, and change shaped his perspective on fame and success later in life. Unlike many of his peers, he did not crave attention or adoration. He understood the fleeting nature of life and the importance of valuing human connection over material wealth or recognition. These lessons, learned in the quiet and often painful moments of his youth, became the moral compass that guided him through Hollywood's highs and lows. Even in the midst of challenges, Keanu found moments of joy and creativity. Skateboarding with friends, acting in small school plays, or just exploring new places gave him a sense of freedom and possibility. These moments reminded him that even when life is difficult, there is always space for wonder and discovery. This balance between struggle and joy became a central theme in his life, one that audiences would later see reflected in his work and public persona. By the time he was ready to pursue acting professionally, Keanu had already developed the qualities that would set him apart in Hollywood: resilience, humility, empathy, and a dedication to his craft. His early life was far from easy, but it provided him with a unique perspective on the world. He understood pain and loss, but he also understood the small joys and triumphs that make life meaningful. This combination of depth and sensitivity would later resonate with millions of fans around the world. Keanu Reeves's early life was a story of challenges met with quiet determination. It was a story of moving from place to place, of facing personal struggles, and of discovering passions that would guide him through life. Through every hardship, he learned the value of kindness, the importance of perseverance, and the power of human connection. These lessons stayed with him, shaping the man who would become one of the most beloved figures in Hollywood. His story reminds us that even in the face of uncertainty and adversity, it is possible to find purpose, joy, and meaning in life. After years of moving, struggling in school, and finding small escapes in skateboarding and acting, Keanu Reeves finally started stepping into the world of professional acting. His journey was far from easy, and like everything else in his life, it came with challenges that tested his patience, determination, and spirit. Hollywood was not waiting for him with open arms. He had to work hard to find roles, attend countless auditions, and deal with rejection again and again. Many young actors give up after facing repeated disappointment, but Keanu had already learned resilience from his early life. He knew that every small failure was just a step toward something bigger. Keanu's first roles were in small television shows and minor movie appearances. At first, he wasn't famous and few people recognized his name, but his talent was clear. There was something natural about him on screen. He didn't overact or try to force emotion. Instead, he brought a quiet, thoughtful energy that drew people in. Directors and casting agents noticed this, and slowly, he began to land more significant roles. His performances were genuine, and his presence on screen felt real, not forced. The turning point in Keanu's early career came with a small comedy film where he played a charming, goofy character. This movie became a cult hit and introduced him to audiences who loved his unique style. He wasn't the typical leading man. He didn't have to be loud, flashy, or overly dramatic. His charm was subtle, his humor natural, and people found it refreshing. The film's success gave him opportunities to explore a variety of roles, from action and romance to drama and science fiction. Each role helped him grow as an actor and taught him new ways to connect with audiences. Even as his career began to take off, Keanu remained grounded. Unlike many actors who let fame change them, he avoided the celebrity lifestyle. He didn't buy expensive cars, flaunt wealth, or chase attention. Instead, he focused on his craft and treated everyone around him with respect, whether it was the director, co-star, or crew member. Stories about his kindness started circulating in Hollywood, and people admired him not just for his talent, but for the way he treated others. In a city where ego often rules, Keanu was different. He was humble, approachable, and thoughtful. His breakout moment in mainstream Hollywood came with an action thriller that became a huge hit. Suddenly, Keanu Reeves was a name that people knew. Audiences loved him and critics praised his performance. But fame brought new challenges. The industry expected him to take on more high-profile roles, to attend events, and to maintain a public persona. Keanu handled it quietly and professionally. He didn't let the pressure or attention change who he was. He continued to live simply and focused on the work itself, rather than the rewards that came with it. One of the most remarkable aspects of Keanu's rise in Hollywood was how he treated his success. He didn't seek to dominate the spotlight or overshadow others. He collaborated, supported his fellow actors, and often helped those behind the scenes. He would share his earnings with stunt teams, costume designers, and other crew members, actions that became legendary in the industry. These gestures were not for publicity. They were genuine expressions of gratitude and respect for the people who helped create the magic on screen. During this time, Keanu also explored different genres of acting. He wanted to challenge himself, take risks, and avoid being typecast. He moved between action films, comedies, and dramas, proving that he could adapt to any role. Each new project added depth to his career and allowed him to learn more about the craft of acting. He studied his characters carefully, trying to understand their motivations, emotions, and flaws. This dedication made his performances feel real and relatable. Audiences could see pieces of themselves in his characters, which made his work resonate on a deeper level. Despite growing fame, Keanu continued to live a life that reflected his early experiences. He remained private, avoiding tabloid headlines and unnecessary attention. He understood that his work mattered more than his image. He focused on personal growth, friendships, and meaningful experiences rather than chasing material success. His humility and grounded nature made him relatable to fans, and people admired him not just as a celebrity, but as a person. During these years, Keanu also built lasting friendships in Hollywood. He connected with co-stars, directors, and writers who appreciated his authenticity. Unlike many actors who are competitive or guarded, he offered support, encouragement, and advice to those around him. His reputation for generosity and kindness became as much a part of his identity as his talent. These friendships and connections would prove invaluable later, both personally and professionally. The mid-career phase of Keanu's life brought one of his most iconic roles. He was cast in a science fiction film that would change not only his career, but also the industry itself. The movie's success was monumental, and it became a cultural phenomenon. Keanu's portrayal of a thoughtful, heroic character captivated audiences worldwide. He was praised for his physical dedication to the role, including learning stunts, practicing martial arts, and performing demanding action sequences. But beyond the action, it was his emotional depth that left a lasting impression. He portrayed a character who faced moral dilemmas, personal loss, and the burden of responsibility with quiet strength and humanity. As the film gained popularity, Keanu faced the challenge of balancing fame with privacy. He handled interviews, public appearances, and fan interactions with grace and honesty. He never pretended to be someone he was not, and he remained approachable despite the pressures of celebrity life. This balance between public recognition and personal authenticity became a hallmark of his career. People admired him for being real, for not letting fame change his core values, and for maintaining his humility even in the face of global attention. Beyond his work in film, Keanu also explored other creative pursuits. He developed a love for music, forming a band and performing when he had the time. He enjoyed writing, reading, and learning new skills, always seeking ways to expand his understanding of the world. These interests made him more than an actor. They made him a thoughtful and multidimensional human being. He never allowed his identity to be confined to the screen. Keanu wanted to live fully, to experience life in all its richness, and to share his passions with those who could connect with them. Through all of these experiences, Keanu Reeves remained someone who valued kindness, empathy, and respect. Even as Hollywood often celebrated extravagance and ego, he showed that success could be paired with humility and humanity. His journey from small television roles to blockbuster fame was a testament to his talent, resilience, and the principles that guided his life. Every role he took, every decision he made, reflected not just his skill as an actor but his character as a person. In summary, Keanu's rise in Hollywood was not just about talent and opportunity. It was about perseverance, humility, and integrity. He faced challenges, rejection, and pressure, but he never lost sight of what mattered. He treated people with respect, pursued meaningful work, and remained true to himself. His story during this period of his life shows that fame and success do not have to come at the cost of personal values. Instead, they can be used as a platform to demonstrate kindness, authenticity, and dedication to one's craft. Keanu Reeves became not only a beloved actor but also a symbol of humanity, showing the world that true success comes from being a good person. No matter how high you rise, life has a way of testing even the strongest people. And for Keanu Reeves, personal tragedy would leave a mark that no fame or success could erase. While his career was thriving and the world admired his talent, Keanu experienced loss and heartbreak that were deeply personal and profoundly life-changing. These events would shape his outlook on life, his sense of empathy, and his understanding of what truly matters beyond the lights of Hollywood. One of the earliest and most difficult losses came with the death of a close friend. The loss struck him unexpectedly and reminded him how fragile life could be. For someone who had already faced instability in childhood, this kind of loss was devastating. It was not just the absence of a friend, but the weight of mortality and the suddenness with which life can change. Keanu grappled with grief privately, avoiding the media attention that so often surrounds celebrities. He understood that some pain is too personal to share publicly, and that mourning is a deeply individual process. A few years later, tragedy struck even closer to home. Keanu faced the loss of his own child. His daughter, who was expected to bring joy and hope, was stillborn. The grief was unimaginable, and it left him and his partner heartbroken. This event brought back memories of the uncertainties of his own childhood and reinforced the fragility of life. The sorrow was profound, yet it also deepened his capacity for compassion. Keanu learned to carry grief silently, to honor loss while continuing to support those he cared about. The experience shaped his emotional depth and gave him a perspective that few could truly understand. Shortly after this loss, Keanu suffered another blow. His partner, who had shared the journey of life and the heartbreak of their child's death, passed away in a tragic accident. This series of events, one after another, tested his resilience in ways that fame, money, or career success could never shield him from. He faced public scrutiny, curiosity, and speculation, yet he chose to grieve privately and with dignity. He never allowed these tragedies to define him publicly, but they quietly influenced the man he was becoming, a person of depth, empathy, and strength born from suffering. Despite the immense pain, Keanu continued to work. Acting became not just a career, but also a way to cope, a way to channel his emotions into meaningful art. He immersed himself in his craft, finding solace in the structure, creativity, and expression it allowed. His performances began to reflect the depth of his experiences, bringing a raw and authentic quality that audiences could feel. Characters he portrayed were often infused with a quiet strength and vulnerability that mirrored his own life experiences. Friends and colleagues noticed a change in him during this period. He became more introspective, more contemplative, and more careful with his words and actions. He valued genuine connection and authenticity, and he was careful about whom he trusted. The tragedies he faced did not make him bitter or withdrawn. Rather, they deepened his humanity. People who spent time with him sensed a sincerity and presence that was rare in Hollywood. He listened, offered support, and maintained a calm and grounded demeanor even in the midst of personal turmoil. Keanu also turned to travel and exploration as a form of healing. Moving from place to place, experiencing different cultures, and connecting with people outside the entertainment industry gave him perspective and solace. He sought experiences that reminded him of the simple beauty of life, the small joys that exist even amid pain. Nature, quiet streets, and moments of reflection became his refuge. These practices allowed him to maintain his sense of self and to continue approaching life with humility and grace. During these years, he also built a reputation for compassion that went beyond his on-screen persona. He quietly helped friends, strangers, and even colleagues without seeking recognition. From paying for medical bills to supporting charitable causes, his generosity became well known within Hollywood circles. Yet he never flaunted these acts. They were simply an extension of his character. His personal losses had shown him the importance of kindness and empathy, and he chose to live by these principles consistently. Grief also influenced the types of roles he chose. He was drawn to characters who were flawed, human, and searching for meaning. Whether it was an action hero with moral dilemmas or a quiet, reflective character, Keanu brought authenticity and emotional truth to his performances. Audiences felt the honesty in his work, the way he could convey pain, hope, and resilience without overacting. His personal experiences gave him the ability to inhabit roles fully, to portray emotions that were universally understood yet deeply personal. Despite facing immense tragedy, Keanu maintained relationships that were supportive and grounding. Close friends and collaborators became a source of stability, helping him navigate the highs and lows of life and career. He cherished these relationships, recognizing their importance in maintaining emotional balance. He became a mentor, a confidant, and a friend to many, offering wisdom and support drawn from his own experiences with loss and healing. Keanu's response to personal tragedy also shaped his interactions with fans. He became known not only for his talent, but for his humility and kindness toward those who admired him. Simple gestures such as taking time to speak with fans, sharing insights, or showing gratitude became part of his public identity. These actions reflected a deep understanding that life is fragile and that human connection is precious. He never used tragedy for sympathy or publicity. Instead, he allowed his actions, demeanor, and empathy to speak for themselves. Over time, these experiences contributed to a quiet strength in Keanu. He learned that suffering is a part of life, that loss is inevitable, and that the way one responds defines character. Fame and career achievements could never replace love, family, or emotional fulfillment, but they provided a platform to live authentically, connect with others, and inspire through work and personal example. This perspective allowed him to continue thriving in Hollywood without losing sight of what mattered most. Keanu's personal tragedies also created a profound sense of gratitude. Even in moments of sorrow, he recognized the value of life's small pleasures. The laughter of friends, a quiet morning, the chance to create art, or the beauty of nature. He approached life with a humility and awareness that many people only develop after years of struggle. This awareness made him relatable, endearing, and inspiring to fans and colleagues alike. In reflecting on this period of his life, it becomes clear that Keanu Reeves' story is not just one of talent and success, but also of endurance and humanity. He faced unimaginable personal losses, yet he continued to act, create, and connect with others in meaningful ways. His story demonstrates that true strength is not the absence of pain, but the ability to move forward, to remain compassionate, and to maintain integrity despite hardship. This phase of Keanu's life reminds us that behind the glamour of Hollywood, real people experience real struggles. Fame does not shield one from tragedy, and money cannot heal grief. What matters is how individuals respond to loss, how they carry themselves through pain, and how they choose to connect with the world despite suffering. Keanu's response, quiet resilience, empathy, generosity, and dedication, sets him apart as not only a remarkable actor but also a remarkable human being. Even today, the lessons from this period of his life continue to resonate in his work and personal choices. He approaches roles with depth and authenticity, maintains meaningful relationships, and treats people with respect and kindness. His journey through tragedy has not made him bitter or withdrawn. It has made him more aware, more compassionate, and more grounded. This human side of Keanu Reeves, often overshadowed by his fame, is what truly makes him one of Hollywood's most respected and beloved figures. Keanu Reeves' story during these years is a testament to the human spirit. It shows that even in the face of profound personal loss, it is possible to remain kind, authentic, and resilient. His experiences with tragedy did not define him in a negative way. Rather, they shaped the depth of his character and the quality of his work. His life reminds us that grief and loss are universal, that how we respond matters, and that strength is often found in quiet perseverance and empathy. For fans and observers alike, Keanu Reeves offers an example of how humility, and resilience can coexist with fame, success, and talent. After facing profound personal loss, Keanu Reeves entered a period of reinvention and renewal in his career. His resilience, humility, and dedication to his craft became even more apparent during this time. He had already gained recognition for his talent, but he now sought roles that challenged him both physically and emotionally. One of the defining moments of this period came when he was cast in a groundbreaking science fiction series that would not only reshape the action genre, but also solidify his place as a leading figure in Hollywood. The film's success was unprecedented, capturing audiences worldwide with its mix of thrilling action, innovative storytelling, and philosophical undertones. Keanu's preparation for this role was intense and meticulous. He studied martial arts, choreography, and stunt techniques, pushing his body to its limits while maintaining a commitment to realism. He worked closely with trainers and stunt coordinators to ensure that every action sequence was executed with precision. Yet, it was not just physical preparation that mattered to him. He also delved deep into the character's psyche, exploring motivations, fears, and moral dilemmas. His attention to both the physical and emotional dimensions of the role made his performance stand out, earning praise from critics and audiences alike. Despite the global attention that followed the film's release, Keanu remained humble. He did not allow fame to change his character or the way he interacted with people. In interviews and public appearances, he spoke thoughtfully and respectfully, often redirecting attention to the collaborative effort behind the scenes. He highlighted the contributions of directors, writers, and crew members, demonstrating an awareness that success is rarely achieved alone. This perspective resonated with audiences, who appreciated his grounded nature in an industry often characterized by ego and self-promotion. During this time, Keanu also explored opportunities beyond traditional acting roles. He engaged in writing, music, and other creative pursuits, finding ways to express himself that complemented his on-screen work. He formed a band, collaborated with other artists, and explored storytelling from different angles. These activities were not driven by a desire for fame, but by a genuine passion for creation and self-expression. They allowed him to expand his understanding of art and connect with audiences on multiple levels. As his career continued to flourish, Keanu embraced projects that required reinvention. He took on a new role in a series of films centered around a skilled, determined character navigating a dangerous world. These films demanded physical endurance, complex emotional performances, and a deep commitment to character development. Keanu approached each challenge with professionalism and focus, often performing his own stunts to maintain authenticity. His dedication to realism and craft elevated the films, earning critical acclaim and reinforcing his reputation as one of the most committed actors in the industry. Beyond his work on screen, Keanu's personal philosophy continued to guide him. He maintained a simple lifestyle, avoided unnecessary materialism, and valued human connection above all else. He spent time with friends, engaged in charitable activities, and quietly supported causes that mattered to him. From helping crew members financially to contributing to cancer research, his generosity became a defining aspect of his life. These actions were not publicized or self-promoting. They were reflections of his character, rooted in empathy and a sense of responsibility to others. Keanu's ability to reinvent himself also extended to his choice of collaborators. He sought out directors, writers, and co-stars who shared his commitment to authenticity and quality. He valued teamwork and open communication, understanding that the best work emerges from collaboration rather than ego-driven competition. His professionalism and integrity earned him respect across the industry, making him a trusted and admired colleague. He became known not only for his talent, but for the way he approached every project with care, thoughtfulness, and a genuine desire to contribute meaningfully. The reinvention period also allowed Keanu to reflect on his own journey and the lessons he had learned from personal tragedy. He approached roles with a depth that could only come from lived experience. He understood loss, resilience, and the complexities of human emotion, and he infused these insights into his performances. Audiences could sense the authenticity in his work, the way his characters carried emotional weight without melodrama. His performances resonated because they reflected real human experiences, not just scripted fiction. Keanu's renewed career momentum also provided opportunities to mentor younger actors and crew members. He shared insights, offered encouragement, and modeled professionalism and kindness. He understood the pressures and challenges of Hollywood, having navigated them himself with humility and perseverance. His guidance helped others navigate their careers while maintaining integrity and focus on meaningful work. This mentorship became an extension of his character, a way to influence the industry positively beyond his performances. During this period, Keanu also became more conscious of his public image and the impact of fame. He was careful to engage with fans respectfully and authentically, recognizing the power of influence that comes with being a public figure. Simple gestures like taking time to meet fans or acknowledging their support reinforced his reputation as a kind and approachable celebrity. He did not seek attention or validation. Instead, he focused on connecting in genuine, human ways. Keanu's reinvention was not limited to career achievements. It was also a personal evolution. He found ways to integrate his experiences of loss, resilience, and empathy into daily life. He pursued mindfulness, reflection, and meaningful connections, ensuring that his work did not overshadow his humanity. This balance between professional success and personal fulfillment allowed him to navigate Hollywood without losing sight of what mattered most. It also demonstrated that reinvention is not just about changing roles or public image, but about evolving as a person. The success of his films during this period brought financial rewards, but Keanu's focus remained on craft and collaboration rather than material gain. He continued to live modestly, avoid excessive publicity, and prioritize experiences and relationships over luxury. His career choices reflected a commitment to meaningful storytelling, physical dedication, and emotional authenticity. This approach resonated with audiences who admired not only his work, but the values and character behind it. Keanu's reinvention phase also emphasized the importance of resilience and perseverance. Despite personal tragedies and the unpredictable nature of Hollywood, he continued to pursue challenging roles, maintain high standards, and stay true to his principles. His ability to adapt, grow, and excel in new genres demonstrated not just talent, but an unwavering commitment to personal and professional integrity. He became a symbol of how one can navigate adversity while maintaining humility, dedication, and kindness. Through this period, Keanu Reeves solidified his legacy not only as a talented actor but as a remarkable human being. His commitment to craft, generosity toward others, and ability to approach life with authenticity and empathy set him apart. The combination of professional reinvention, personal growth, and ethical integrity created a figure admired worldwide. Audiences responded not only to his performances, but to the values he exemplified: resilience, compassion, humility, and dedication. In conclusion, this phase of Keanu Reeves's life illustrates how reinvention can be both professional and personal. He faced challenges, embraced new opportunities, and deepened his craft, all while maintaining his humanity. His work during this time resonated with audiences, and his actions off-screen reflected a profound sense of empathy and integrity. Keanu's journey reminds us that true success is not measured only by fame or wealth, but by the ability to grow, adapt, and positively impact the world while staying true to oneself. His story is one of hope, perseverance, and the enduring power of kindness, demonstrating that even in the high-pressure world of Hollywood, it is possible to remain authentic, compassionate, and grounded. Even after decades in Hollywood, Keanu Reeves remains one of the most grounded and human figures in an industry often defined by glamour and ego. He has built a reputation not only for his work on screen, but for the way he treats people, lives his life, and approaches fame with humility. Despite the worldwide recognition and financial success, Keanu continues to prioritize meaningful relationships, personal growth, and genuine experiences over materialism or public attention. One of the most remarkable aspects of Keanu's life is how he interacts with fans. Unlike many celebrities, he takes the time to engage with those who admire his work. He listens, speaks kindly, and often expresses gratitude for the support he receives. Whether meeting people on the street or in more organized settings, he treats them with respect and attention, making fans feel valued and seen. These moments, though simple, highlight a rare combination of accessibility and kindness that is uncommon in Hollywood. Keanu's approach to fame is also defined by privacy and discretion. He avoids social media, keeps his personal life largely out of the public eye, and chooses to live quietly despite global recognition. This allows him to maintain a sense of normalcy and to protect his own well-being. While many celebrities use social media to cultivate public personas, Keanu relies on personal interactions and authentic connections. This choice reflects his understanding of the importance of self-preservation, focus, and genuine human connection in a world often obsessed with appearances. In addition to his personal values, Keanu's professional life continues to showcase dedication and passion. He approaches each role with thorough preparation, whether it requires physical stamina, emotional depth, or intellectual engagement. He studies his characters carefully, considers their motivations, and works tirelessly to bring authenticity to every performance. This dedication extends to collaboration on set, where he treats directors, co-stars, and crew members with respect. listening and contributing to ensure the best outcome for the project. Keanu's commitment to craft is often matched by his acts of generosity behind the scenes. He has quietly shared portions of his earnings with production teams, helped colleagues facing difficulties, and supported charitable causes without seeking recognition. These actions are consistent with his character, reflecting a deep-seated empathy and understanding of life's challenges. His generosity is not performative but genuine, rooted in personal experiences with hardship, loss, and compassion for others. Even in his later career, Keanu has continued to reinvent himself and explore new dimensions of acting. He has taken on roles that challenge both his body and his mind, embracing projects that require stamina, creativity, and emotional honesty. The dedication he brings to his work makes him relatable and inspiring to audiences who see not only a skilled actor, but a person who embodies perseverance, humility, and authenticity. His ability to evolve while staying true to himself demonstrates a rare combination of talent and character. Keanu's life outside of acting also reflects his human-centric approach. He values friendships, meaningful experiences, and the quiet joys of life. He enjoys travel, music, literature, and learning new skills, maintaining a curiosity and appreciation for the world around him. These interests enrich his perspective, allow him to connect deeply with others, and inform the depth he brings to his performances. By living fully and intentionally, he models a way of life that balances professional ambition with personal fulfillment. Despite the fame, wealth, and recognition, Keanu has consistently shown that success does not require abandoning core values. He remains humble, respectful, and generous, even when faced with opportunities to act otherwise. His behavior sets an example in Hollywood and beyond, demonstrating that integrity, empathy, and kindness are compatible with achievement and influence. This combination of personal virtue and professional excellence makes him an enduring role model for fans, colleagues, and aspiring actors alike. The challenges Keanu faced earlier in life, including family instability, dyslexia, bullying, and personal loss, continue to shape his worldview. These experiences have instilled resilience, empathy, and a sense of perspective that guides both his personal and professional decisions. He understands that life is fragile and unpredictable, that relationships matter more than material gain, and that every moment holds potential for growth, connection, and meaningful action. These lessons resonate in his work, interactions, and everyday choices. Keanu's relationship with the public has also contributed to his unique standing in Hollywood. He remains approachable, authentic, and relatable, refusing to cultivate an image that distances him from ordinary people. Fans often describe encounters with him as warm and humanizing experiences, where his kindness and attentiveness leave lasting impressions. These interactions are not scripted or forced. They stem from a genuine desire to connect, to honor the humanity in others, and to make positive contributions to the world around him. Another defining aspect of Keanu's life is his approach to legacy. While many actors are concerned with awards, recognition, or material accumulation, Keanu focuses on the impact of his work and actions. He seeks to create meaningful art, foster authentic relationships, and contribute positively to the lives of those around him. His legacy is measured not by fame or fortune, but by the depth of his character, the respect he earns, and the kindness he demonstrates. Keanu Reeves' story, as it has unfolded over the decades, is a powerful reminder that fame and success do not have to come at the expense of humanity. He embodies resilience, integrity, and empathy, showing that it is possible to navigate life's challenges, build a successful career, and remain grounded, compassionate, and true to oneself. His example inspires not only admiration but also reflection, inviting audiences to consider what values truly matter in their own lives. In reflecting on his life, it is clear that Keanu's journey is defined as much by his character as by his talent. He has faced personal and professional challenges, endured profound loss, and navigated the complexities of fame with grace. Throughout it all, he has maintained a commitment to kindness, humility, and authenticity. These qualities, paired with his artistic skill and dedication, have made him not just a beloved actor, but a respected and admired human being. Keanu's enduring appeal lies in the combination of his professional excellence and personal integrity. Audiences are drawn not only to his performances but to the values he exemplifies. His life demonstrates that resilience, empathy, and humility are not weaknesses, but strengths that can guide individuals through adversity and create lasting positive impact. By living authentically and embracing both the joys and challenges of life, Keanu Reeves has become a symbol of what it means to be truly human in a world often focused on appearances and superficial success. Ultimately, Keanu's story is a testament to the power of perseverance, compassion, and authenticity. He has shown that one can experience loss, face adversity, and navigate a high-profile career while remaining kind, grounded, and human. His choices, actions, and dedication continue to inspire millions, proving that success is most meaningful when paired with empathy and integrity. Keanu Reeves stands as a rare example in Hollywood, reminding the world that being a good person is just as important as talent, and that true greatness lies in the ability to remain humble, generous, and connected to others despite life's challenges. Even as new generations discover his work and the world evolves, Keanu Reeves remains consistent in his values, work ethic, and approach to life. He continues to embody humility, empathy, and resilience, leaving an enduring legacy that transcends film. His life is a story of human connection, thoughtful choices, and unwavering dedication to both craft and character. It is a story that continues to resonate, inspire, and remind us all of the enduring power of kindness, authenticity, and the simple, yet profound virtues that make life meaningful.